The following is a live presentation of Retro Sports Network, home of the champions of the past, present, and or future. Hello, my name is Ron Juckett. Welcome to the program for this third day of April 2024. Hope you weren't confused by any April Fool's jokes or anything like that. Oh, we've got a dandy for you today. I forgot to make the stadium for it, but we do have a dandy for you today. The Oakland A's have finally taken first place in the American League West. It is a 4-team battle royale with the Kansas City Royals, Minnesota Twins, and Seattle Mariners. Today, Oakland travels to Kansas City to face the Royals, who are a half game back at 34-23, the 34-22 Oakland Athletics. So, a battle for first with the Aces going today. Dave Stewart for the A's and Brett Saberhagen, who is pitching out of his mind for the Kansas City Royals. It is a rainy night in Independence, Missouri, and a good time should be had by all because we just got matchup after matchup after matchup of quality baseball for you, starting right now. As soon as I remember which button to press, it's Retro Sports Network presents Major League Replay 1988. Today from Independence, Missouri, it's the Kansas City Royals and the Oakland Athletics, and today's game is brought to you by DigitalDice.com, the best darn podcast on the web for your sports simulation and replay needs. Find us today on Spotify, Spreaker, iTunes, or wherever else fine podcasts are listed. And so, Dave Stewart, who is not pitching as well as he should, against Brett Saberhagen, who's pitching lights out. He's 10-2 with an earned run average of 245. It is a rainy night here. Winds out to right field towards I-70 at 9 miles an hour. And it is a balmy 82 degrees as we get started. Brett Saberhagen making his 14th start of the year. Is 24. He's just 24. And he'll win the Cy Young. How you doing, Jeff and Forrest? He throws a fastball at 88, not Forrest, Brett Saberhagen. And is a ground ball pitcher. His last start, as soon as the computer cooperates, was 5 days ago against Seattle. He's won his last 3 decisions. 5-4 win. He went 8 2/3, 142 pitches, 9 hits, 4 runs, 2 earned. He walked 1 and struck out 2. So overall, Saberhagen has gone 102 2/3, 101 hits, 41 runs. His defense hadn't been all that great around him. Just 28 of those 41 have been earned. He's allowed 4 homers. He has walked 30 and struck out 60, going 10-2 with a 2.45 ERA. Here is the A's lineup for you. Carney Lansford leads off at third. Mike Gallego at second will bat second. Jose Canseco in right will go third. Dave Parker in left will clean up. Mark McGuire will bat fifth and play first. Don Baylor, the DH, goes sixth. Dave Henderson in center, batting seventh. Walt Weiss moves up to eighth in the lineup at short. And the man, the myth, the legend, Matt Sinatra, strangers in the night, will bat ninth behind the plate. Saberhagen has a rubber arm, and so he can go 130 pitches. Defensively for the Royals, it'll be Jim Eisenreich in left. He's a 5 and a 3. Willie Wilson a 7 and a 6 in center. Danny Tartable a 3 and an 8 in right. Kevin Seitzer and his orchestra a 6 at third. Kurt Stillwell a 4 at short. Frank White a 7 at second. George Brett a 5 at first. Jamie Quirk a 7 and a 5 behind the plate. And Saberhagen not a bad fielder at all. A 6 and a 942 fielding percentage. By the way, we are using the patch that came out on March 13th. Carney Lansford hitting .303, 5 homers, and 30 RBI. We start this one. A ground ball to short. Stillwell over to Brett. And there is 1 out. Bill Buckner, by the way, is the DH for the Royals. Here's Gallego. Mike at 149. No homers and 4 RBI. Oh, by the way, and I don't know the exact date that we'll do this, but the San Diego Padres are about to make an appearance on the channel. Don't fall over for us. Pitch to Gallego. There's a ground ball pass Stillwell in the left field for a base hit. Eisenreich will throw it back. For Canseco, hitting .274, 11 homers and 43 RBI. And the outcome box is heavily favored towards Oakland. Not only will they make an appearance, the San Diego Padres, they get to play a doubleheader on the channel. Pitch to Canseco. Jose hits this one in the left center. Wilson will cut it off. And Gallego, is he going to hold it second, or is Willie going to... Yep, no, he'll go to third. And Wilson will eat it and throw it there. So, 2 singles. 1 out for Parker, hitting .271, 7 homers, and 29 RBI. So the good news is you get double the Padres. The bad news for San Diego, you get double the Dodgers. Pitch to Parker. There goes Canseco. Hit and run is on. That's in the left field for a hit. Gallego's going to score. Canseco should motor to third. Eisenreich has it. What's he going to do? They're going to try to get him out there. The throw to Seitzer is not in time. And again, it's runners on the corners and 1 out. For Mark McGwire, hitting a .341, 17 homers and 52 RBI. So Saberhagen, who is pitching with an ERA about almost 1.3 runs better than real life, is in the process of coughing up a hairball. Runners on the corners. The pitch to McGwire struck him out. Saberhagen got him a chase, so 1-2 fastball, 2 out. For Don Baylor, hitting .192, 4 homers and 11 RBI. We have all American League matchups this week. And by the way, because we're going to lose a stream on Friday or tomorrow, we didn't stream Monday because old Uncle Ron hurt himself in his sleep. Pitch to Baylor, runners on the corners. Fly ball, left field. Eisenreich should grab it. He does, and that will retire the side after he makes a diving stop and gets rug burn. Ouchie, ouchie, ouchie. After half an inning, it's Oakland 1. They got 3 hits and no errors, and here come the Royals. So Uncle Stu comes to the hill. He's 31 years old. Fastball at 90, ground ball pitcher. 14 start. He has not had a great year. He is 6-6 with a 4.63 ERA. And if you're a believer in quality starts, he's not done it. He's only had 6 for a 46.2% chance. He has, however, won his last 3 decisions, including an 8-7 win over the Twins 5 days ago. 7 innings, 136 pitches, 9 hits, 5 runs, all earned. He walked 5 and struck out 5, but somehow got the win. 103 innings for Dave, 87 hits, 54 runs, 53 of those earned, 10 homers. He's walked 48 and struck out 67. His ERA hasn't been below 4.5 since April 9th. That's what is in his next start. Seattle tagged him for 10. So here is the Kansas City offense. Kurt Stillwell leads off at short. Willie Wilson slides down to second. George Brett will go third. Danny Tarnable will clean up in right. Kevin Seitzer at third will bat fifth. Bill Buckner over from the Angels, or going to the Angels, will be the DH and batting sixth. Frank White at second, going seventh. Jim Eisenreich in left will bat eighth. I'm feeling better. Jamie Quirk behind the plate will bat ninth, and Dave Stewart can go the distance on the mound. I have reached the age. Now let's set the Oakland defense for you. Parker a 2 and a 4 in left. Henderson a 7 and a 4 in center, and Canseco a 6 and a 9 in right. Carney Lansford a 4 at third. Walt Weiss an 8 at short. Gallego a 5 at second. McGwire a 7 at first. Sinatro a 2 and a 2 behind the plate, making his 1988 debut. And Uncle Stu is not a good fielder. He's a 3 with an .894 fielding percentage. Stillwell at .238, 2 homers, and 15 RBI. I slept wrong. I'm of the age, I can't call it a midlife crisis because I'm not living to be 104, where I got cramps from not rolling over. And by the time that you work them out, you lose. I lost about an hour's sleep in the process. So, it doesn't mean that I slept well the next 2 nights, but that's what that was. So, yep, I have reached the age, John, where I hurt myself sleeping. Pitch to Stillwell. Gets away from Sinatra on strike 3 down to McGuire. And there is 1 out for Willie Wilson at .286, 2 triples and 17 RBI. Ah, the joys of aging, Jeff. The joys of aging. Stewart deals. That's a little chopper. Stewart almost in foul territory. Nope, McGuire's going to get that. Stewart covers the bag, and Wilson is retired. So here's George Brett hitting .352. 9 homers and 51 RBI. Of course, Brett, 2 years from now, will become the first person ever to win a batting title in 3 different decades. Draws the walk. John says he's thrown on his back, brushing his teeth. I'm sorry. Yeah, I hear you. Here's Tiredable, Danny at .250, 12 homers and 43 RBI. I've hurt my back holding in a sneeze during the height of all the fun a few years ago. See what they do with Brett here. I should steal, but I know that there's going to be a throw over. Tiredable, either feast or famine. Stewart goes to the plate, should have stole, and it's a balk. So Stewart allows the balk on a 2-2. Tony La Russa, who's coding his own game, notes that down, says a few words to the umpire, and the count is 2 balls and 2 strikes to Tiredable. Gets away from Sinatra, and Brett's going to move up 90. So that's pretty good. On a pitch and a half, he's moved 180 feet. So he's on third. He's a tying run. 3-2 the count. 2 out. Tiredable has worked it full. And still strikes out. Of course he does. He looked at a fastball, and that'll take care of the Royals. They'll leave a runner on. And after 1, no runs, no hits, and no errors. It's Oakland 1, Kansas City nothing. So Henderson, Weiss, and Sinatra to face Saberhagen here in the second. Hendu at .265, 8 homers and 30 RBI. And if you're looking at that outcome box, put money on Oakland. Pitch to Hendu. There's a ground ball to Saberhagen, back to Brett for the out. We will make up. How you doing, Big Dave? Monday's missed stream next Tuesday night at 6. So we'll do some, because we know we have a nighttime thing going on. Walt Weiss, by the way, at .298, no homers and 20 RBI. I was watching some of RJL's Game 5 last night between the Cubs and the Reds. Did the Cubs win that? I didn't catch it all. Struck him out. That's 2 for Saberhagen. A 2-2 fastball swung on and missed. And here is Matt Sinatra, who in his 10 games with Oakland went a whopping 3 for 9. I forget where he comes over. He's available today through the end of the year. And yep, 10 games, 10 plate appearances. I want to say he played for the Braves, right? Saberhagen's pitch struck him out. That's 3 for Brett. An 0-2 fastball in there at the knees, and that will retire the side. No runs, no hits, no errors. And after an inning and a half, 1-0 Oakland. So Seitzer, Buckner, and White, 5, 6, and 7 to face Stewart, who walked a man and struck out 2 in the first. Kevin at .330, 5 homers and 25 RBI. Ground ball to Weiss. Walt throws it to McGuire. And Seitzer is retired. I do expect to be with you on Eclipse Monday. And if you've seen the path, it includes Burlington, Vermont. We will get to see the full eclipse. Bill Buckner at 288, no homers, and 6 RBI, and he has been in town for a couple of weeks and will finish the year in Kansas City. Stewart, 1 out, nobody on here in the second. Ground ball to Gallego, over to McGuire. And Buckner is retired, 2 out for Frank White, hitting .295, 5 homers, and 32 RBI. We also expect to, on Saturday night, around 8 Eastern, be doing a live episode of the show. Could you care to guess what we'll be talking about? White in the right field, Canseco running in, rides the Schwinn, makes the catch, and that'll do it. So no runs, no hits, no errors. We go the third here in Kansas City. It's Oakland 1, the Royals nothing. So opening 9 for Saberhagen, 32 pitches, 9 batters, 2 innings, 3 hits, and 3 strikeouts. Jeff just finished an interesting project in 162 games with the top 28 World Series champions of all time. The 27 Yankees beat the 75 Reds in 7 games. What did you do that one in, Jeff? Appa Football. In fact, I'm kind of excited about it. We're going to have Greg Giardino of the Appa Football Club and Ogard. So, yep, Appa Football is the topic. Ground ball to third. Seitzer over to Brett. And Lansford, motoring like an electric football player, is hurt. But he'll stay in the game. I think he rolled his ankle. I won't pick on him anymore. He turned an ankle, but will stay in the game. 1 out for Gallego, who singled and scored his first time up. Stratomatic, nice. Computer or cards and dice? Pitch to Gallego. Struck him out. So the 1-2 fastball, Saberhagen has settled in despite CPU. Cool. Despite that outcome box, which is heavily favored towards the A's today. Canseco rips this one into right. He goes the opposite way, and Tartable will throw it back in. So a 2-out single for Dave Parker, who had an RBI single in the first. That's a base hit into left field. Eisenreich will have that skip past him. Seitzer should have had it. Canseco's going to round third and score with ease. It is 2-0 Oakland as Parker is in the second with his 9th double of the year. So the A's take a 2-0 lead. Here's McGuire, who struck out his first time up. So Saberhagen kind of glares out over at Seitzer on the bad defense. That cost Kansas City a run. Game 57 for Oakland and game 58 for Kansas City. McGuire struck out his first time up. Saberhagen puts a little more mustard on this, and McGuire draws the walk. So it was thrown hard, but it was thrown, not pitched. A 3-1 fastball high and away. And I just caught a fingernail on the bed. That hurt. Here's Don Baylor. I've never done that before. Don's 0 for 1. First and second, 2 out. My fingers aren't supposed to move, and they just did. Ouchie. Here's the pitch to Baylor, and it hit him. Of course it did. So Baylor, known for getting hit, but didn't wear all the armor that players do today. Dave Henderson 0 for 1. Bases loaded, 2 out. And Oakland up 2-0. Saberhagen struggling here in the third. How you doing, Steeler fan? So who are your Astros playing in the 72 NLCS? Pitch to Hendu. Struck him out. Saberhagen got out of it. And 0-2 fastball swung on and missed. And somehow, some way, the Cubs. Wow. 1 run, 2 hits, and no errors. Oakland has now left on 5, but they still lead it 2-0. Now they lead it 2-0. So Eisenreich, Quirk, and Stillwell to face Stewart here in the third. Jim hitting 183. Yeah. Saberhagen got away with one there. And would have gotten out of it scot-free if Seitzer was able to trap that ball at third. Eisenreich has 10 RBI with that 183 average. And he draws the walk. So here's Jamie Quirk. Jamie hitting 150. Goodness gracious. No homers and an RBI. Eisenreich has good speed. What's Stewart going to do? And another balk. And so La Russa goes out and gives him a piece of his mind. That's the second balk called on Stewart. And there's no one out here in the third. Can Quirk bunt? He can. He's going to put one down. He does. Lansford's going to run in the throw to Gallego. And Eisenreich's going to move to third. So a sacrifice in an American League game. Angel Hernandez must be behind the plate. Cowboy Joe West, I think, was a National League umpire, wasn't he? Here's Stillwell, who's 0 for 1. He struck out his first time up. Stewart, 9 batters deep, 40 pitches. 2 in the third, 2 walks, and 2 strikeouts. Got him. And 2 fastballs swung on and missed. It's helpful to not gulp air as you're talking. Here's your broadcasting tip of the day. Here's Willie Wilson, 2 out. 2-0 Oakland. Willie is 0 for 1. Eisenreich on third. Wilson up past Gallego, and Kansas City has their first hit, and they're also on the board. So Wilson takes a long turn around first on the RBI single. So sometimes the fates and fortunes of teams can come down to one interesting play, and Saberhagen getting out of the third with just the 1 run. Keep an eye on that as we go along. Here's George Brett. George walked his first time up. Willie's going to try and steal. Sinatro has a terrible arm to throw down to Weiss, and Willie has his 16th steal of the year. It's only 33. I would have guessed he was older than that in 88. So tying run and scoring position for Brett, who walked his first time up. Tireball on deck. And Brett draws the walk. So here is Tireball. Danny struck out. 57 games so far for Kansas City, or 58 games. And Tireball is fanned 56 times. Wilson on second, Brett on first. Stewart has walked 3 and struck out 3. He's thrown 51 pitches with 2 out here in the third. Another balk. And Stewart has a few words for Jose Feliciano behind the plate. I wonder what the record is for balks in a game. That is Stewart's third. 1 per inning. And so everybody moves up 90. There's no count to Tireball. And Stewart, who was never known as a friendly pitcher, kind of in that Bob Gibson and Don Drysdale mode of get out of my way, is steaming on the mound. 3 balks. Tireball into right field. He goes the opposite way. Canseco waits for it and will make the catch. Kansas City gets a run on a hit. Arnie Lansfield feels much better now. Thank you very much. We go to the 4th, 2-1 Oakland. So Weiss, Sinatro, and Lansford here in the 4th. Walt 0 for 1 with a strikeout. Base hit, left center field. Eisenreich will scoop it off the wet turf. And Walter will get second because Eisenreich bobbled it. think he went to barehand it. The ground is wet. And Eisenreich will make his second error of the season. No, that was Stillwell? So Stillwell should have had it, and Eisenreich bobbled it. Kansas City Royals baseball brought to you by Chico Bail Bonds. Because that was a Little League play. Matt Sinatro struck out his first time up. Saberhagen just, again, kind of like Stewart, just kind of steaming on the mound. Pitch to Sinatro. Into left field, Eisenreich over by the line will make the catch, and Weiss will go back to the bag. Good throw in to Seitzer, and no one will advance. So 18 batters deep for Saberhagen. 65 pitches, 3 in the third innings, 6 hits, a walk, and 5 strikeouts, and both the runs are earned. Carney's 0 for 2. Saberhagen has it, right side of the rubber, throws to Brett, 2 out. Weiss will hold at second for Gallego, and Mike is 1 for 2. He has singled, struck out, and scored. Angels. The A's have 6 hits, the Royals have 1. Got him! So Saberhagen has fanned 6. He got him on a 1-2 Uncle Charlie right down Broadway. And the error does not hurt. No runs are hitting in the error. The A's have left on 6. After 3.5, 2-1 Oakland. So here are the standings. The American League is as tight as you can get. The A's a half game up on Kansas City. Minnesota and Seattle are 1 back. And by the way, our resident Mariners expert, I think, is watching chess right now. In the East, the Yankees and Brewers are tied. In fact, the Yankees lead by 1/1000th of a percentage point. You can't get any closer than that. Toronto is a half game out. The Red Sox are now 2 back. Cleveland and Detroit are 3.5 back. In the National League East, the Mets are selling playoff tickets. You can get them at gates A, B, and C at Shea. They have a 6-game lead over Pittsburgh, while the Reds lead the Dodgers by 2.5. And San Diego, almost at 500. So Seitzer, Buckner, and White here to face Stewart in the 4th. Kevin is 0 for 1. In the right center field, Henderson moving over. 1 out. Did you see the clip on social media of Gary Cohen not having a fun day during a rain delay? I saw it this morning. Here's Buckner. He's 0 for 1. Ground ball to third. Lansford. Long throw to McGuire. Carney's ankle was been taped. And McGuire is there for the out. 2 away for White, who's 0 for 1. I don't know how long that Met game was in a rain delay for. But as you know, announcers have to vamp for time and all that. And so Cohen is trying to kill some time waiting for SNY, one of the best crews in the country, to do their thing. And so he's vamping 25, 30 seconds, go get your snacks and all that. And when they went to commercial, they didn't cut away fast enough. And Cohen let his disgust kind of go through that he felt he had to vamp too long. One of those human moments. Gary really is one of the best in the business. Pitch to White, who's 0 for 1. That's into left center. Henderson moving over. That'll drop for a hit. And Frank is on with a 2-out single. That'll bring up Jim Eisenreich. He has walked and scored. That came in the 3rd. So White takes a good lead off at first. Let's see if we can get Stewart to balk a 4th time. Fly ball, right field. Canseco over in the corner, and he will go into foul territory up against the half wall and make a good catch. So Canseco with his defense ends the inning. No runs a hit. The Royals have left on 4, and after 4, it's 2-1 Oakland. So Canseco, Parker, and McGuire to face Saberhagen in the 5th. Jose is 2 for 2. He has singled twice and scored. Ground ball to Brett. George to the bag. 1 out. We are supposed to get, oh, by the way, 5 inches of snow between now and Friday. The wind has been howling out there all day today. Kind of sounds like, 6-year-old kids pretending they're ghosts. Here's Parker. Dave has singled and doubled and has driven in both the runs. He now has 31 RBI. My poor mom, out in the middle of elevation, on between now and Friday, is supposed to get 17 inches of snow. We didn't even get that hardly all winter. And if we get 5 here in town now, I'd be stunned. Popped up. Quirk doffs the mask. Makes the catch in foul territory, 2 out. Meaning, in town, we did not have a 6-inch dump of snow all winter. We got our the first week of spring. Here's McGuire. He's walked and struck out. He's 0 for 1. Into left. Eisen right. Will make the catch, and halfway home, it's the A's 2, the Royals 1 on this 48-degree day in Burlington, Vermont. Weird. I know most of you got the ad, but behind me, all I can hear is the wind. And the only thing I could think of is, did you ever play a game called Light as a Feather growing up? Here's how I got here. Oakland 2, Kansas City 1. A's scored in the first. Dave Parker an RBI single to score Mike Gallego to make it 1-0. In the third, Dave Parker doubled home Jose Canseco to make it 2-0. And then the Royals responded in the bottom of the third. Willie Wilson an RBI single to make it 2-1. Dave Stewart, a 2-hitter through 4. Andrew, how are you? He's given up a run, walked and struck out 3. Saberhagen, a 6-hitter through 5. Both the runs are earned. He's walked 1 and struck out 6. Quirk, Stillwell, and Wilson here in the 5th for Kansas City. Jamie had a sacrifice bunt his first time up. Going to swing this time right back to Stu, over to McGuire. 1 out. How much snow are you expecting down in Claremont, Andrew? Kurt Stillwell is 0 for 2. He is fanned twice. Dave Stewart, 4 1/3, 18 batters, 72 pitches, 2 hits, 3 walks and 3 strikeouts and 3 balks. Andrew says 12. They're saying we're going to get 5 here. And wind. Oh my goodness, are you getting some sleet? The wind is going to be, they're talking 50 miles an hour on the eastern slope or the western slopes of the greens. Stillwell popped up. Sinatro to the screen. 2 out. I was just saying that it sounds like kids trying to scare themselves with the wind's rustling through the buildings here in downtown. Willie Wilson, 1 for 2. He has singled, driven in a run, and stole his 16th base. Line drive foul. Right side, somebody from Kansas City, Kansas made that catch. 2-2 the count to Wilson. Stewart deals. And there's a base hit in the right field. Canseco will pick it up. A 2-out single. That's only the third hit for Kansas City. Here's George Brett, who's walked twice. So, Andrew, I slept and hurt myself in my sleep Sunday night because I am that old. Stewart throws to first. Mockingly asks the home plate umpire if that's a balk. Jose Feliciano says no. Now Wilson goes. Sinatra will throw down to Weiss. Wilson has his 17th steal of the year and second today. I feel better. It was a case of cramping in my sleep. Staying in the same position too long. So 1 strike count to Brett. Wilson on second. He is the tying run. And Brett draws the walk. So first and second now. That's the good news. The bad news is it's Danny Tartable, who's 0 for 2 with a strikeout. 6 hits for Oakland, 3 hits for Kansas City. Pitch to Tartable. And he walks. So that's the 5th walk from Stewart. Wilson on third, Brett on second, Tartable on first for Kevin Seitzer, who is 0 for 2. So a single will put Kansas City out in front. And if the Royals win, they'll be out in front. Extra bases. That's down the line. Parker has to go find it. Wilson scores. Brett scores. Lansford, bad ankle and all, couldn't get down fast enough to stop it. Tartable's going to score. And Seitzer has himself a 3-run double. And the Royals go out in front 4-2. So on a day where you look at the outcome box and wonder why Oakland doesn't have an 8 spot on the board, they now trail 4-2. So here's Buckner. He's 0 for 2. And Seitzer on second standing with a double, his 9th of the year. Pitch to Billy Buck. Fly ball, left field. Parker running in. Dave will make the catch, and that'll do it. Huge inning for the Royals. 3 runs, 2 hits, no errors. We go to the 6th, 4-2 Kansas City. So Baylor, Henderson, and Weiss to face Saberhagen here in the 6th. Don is 0 for 1. And Baylor draws the walk. So here's Hendu. He is 0 for 2 with a strikeout. Baylor been walked and hit by a pitch. And Hendu the tying run. Drops one down. Throws Quirk to White, and that's a sacrifice. So Baylor moves to second. Dave Henderson with a bunt. Takes advantage of the rainy turf. 1 away for Weiss, who has singled and struck out. He's 1 for 2. Saberhagen is walked 2 and struck out 6. Chopper, Brett, foul. 1-2 the count. And that's a base hit into center field. Baylor's chugging. And we'll hold. I've bunted in this game today too. Keith Law, somewhere in an office or his home, has just passed out that we've had 2 sacrifice bunts in an American League game. So first and third, 1 out for Sinatra, who was 0 for 2 with a strikeout. Ground ball to third. They might get 2 out of this. Seitzer will allow the run to score. They get 1 at second, and Sinatra's going to reach because White is messed with Weiss. Don't say that too much fast. And it's now a 4-3 game. So here's Lansford. He's 0 for 3. Saberhagen opening 27, 94 pitches, 5 2/3, 7 hits, 2 walks, and 6 strikeouts. All 3 runs are earned. Carney 0 for 3. Ground ball to Brett. George takes it to the bag himself, and that will retire the side. A's get a run on a hit, no errors. We go to the bottom of the 6th here. It's the Royals 4, the A's 3. So White, Eisenreich, and Quirk to face Stewart here in the 6th. Frank 1 for 2 with a single. Ground ball past Gallego, and White has another single, so he's 2 for 3. Here's Jim Eisenreich, 0 for 1 with a walk. I've never subscribed to the notion that bunts are bad. They can be overdone, and back when pitchers could hit, you would just be productive. But there's nothing, in my view, in certain situations wrong with sacrificing it out to move a runner over. Pitch to Eisenreich. Ground ball to third. Lansford. Is he going to try for 2? No, he's not. The throw to McGuire. And Eisenreich is retired. White moves up to second. 1 away for Quirk, who's 0 for 1. Now, if there was nobody out, Quirk's already had a sacrifice bunt. He's 0 for 1. That's when you'd do it. You'd move him over. No, I wasn't. I knew you were just joking. You get into that Earl Weaver mentality of just playing for the 3-run homer. Struck him out. That's 4 for Stewart. He chased a 1-2 fastball, and that'll bring up Stillwell. Kurt is 0 for 3. He is fanned twice. Stewart, 27 batters, 105 pitches, 5 2/3, 5 hits, 5 walks, 4 runs, all earned, and 4 strikeouts. This Kansas City team is interesting because you have some of the elements of those late 70s, early 80s speed demons. But they're now older, and this team has some power. To third, Lansford. Over to McGuire for the out. So 4 runs, 5 hits, an error overall for Kansas City. No runs, a hit, and no errors. Oh, and now we got the fatigue warning back. That's nice. We're using the patch here from March 13th. After 6, 4-3 Kansas City. Kind of like the fact that you had to actually make the mound visit to figure that out. It'll be Gallego, Canseco, and Parker, and they have 5 of Oakland's 7 hits. Gallego 1 for 3. He has singled, scored, and struck out twice. And that is going to be in the center field for a base hit. So Gallego, without much speed, is on. John making his 3rd attempt to twipe. Welcome to the Elmer Fudd Show. I'm Elmer Fudd. To type. It was not abnormal for La Russa to bunt early if it meant he could get a run here and a run there. He could catch up that way. It's not a bad strategy. It is okay to manufacture runs, especially if you got people in the lineup that either A, tend to hit in the double plays, or B, have speed. Canseco 2 for 3. He has singled twice and scored. Runner on first is Gallego. Canseco into right field. Tartable. And Wilson. Willie runs a long way and makes the catch. Willie must have run 40 yards. 1 out for Parker. Yeah, I haven't made the field for Kansas City. They weren't playing on grass in '88. It's the default one for Kaufman. And it wasn't Kauffman in '88 yet. It was still Royal Stadium. Parker 2 for 3, by the way. Single, double, and 2 RBI. Runner on first is Gallego. Parker, ground ball to White. Frank going to try for 2. Stillwell for 1. And Brett for 2. So a 4-6-3 double play. And we've played stretch time 4-3, Kansas City. Willie Wilson's 2 for 3, a single twice, stolen 2 bags, scored and drove in a run. John says, I know it's only a sim, but he plays old school 70s baseball for every team, bunting, stealing, hitting, running, and you overperform. I think it's a lost art to manufacture runs. I mean, the Cardinals, in reality, should have won 3 World Series. Sabermetrics, I believe, is good, as you say, to a point. The thing with those Cardinal teams in the 80s was that they didn't have any power outside of Jack Clark. Pitch to Wilson. Ground ball, pass a diving Gallego, and Willie has his 3rd hit of the ballgame. So 4-3 Royals here. Nobody out in the 7th. For Brett, who has walked 3 times on the ceiling, if you want to listen to Tony, Orlando, and Dawn, twice on the pipe if the answer is no. Brett has also scored his 45th run of the year, by the way. Stewart throws to first. Wilson is back. Your job as a manager, as far as I'm concerned, is to do what's best for your team to win. Got him. That's 5 for Stewart. A 1-2 fastball that Brett watches, 1 out. Here's Tartable. Danny is 0 for 2. He has scored, walked, and struck out. Because in the end, the only stat that really matters are teams' wins and losses. Pitch to a throw to first, and Willie's not going anywhere. Now I'd think about it, but Tartable's not a good hit and run candidate. Fly ball, left field. Parker will make the catch, and Wilson goes back to first. John says, I won't live and die by it. I think it's good for evaluating a player or a team. But in isolated situations, like during a game, you still have to move the runners. Half the reason I do what I do is to stay out of the double play. My teams almost are always in the bottom of that category. I think that says something. Yep. You got to have the horses, though. I mean, growing up a Red Sox fan, you live in fear of the strike him out, throw him out double play, which is something the Red Sox did quite a bit. Kevin Seitzer 1 for 3, a double, but he cleared the bases with it in the 5th. Someone sent me a link to it. It's March 13th, I believe. I don't believe I can do that, but yeah. It was on the store page, I think. So 1 for 3 with 3 RBI. 2 out. They hold Wilson on. Seitzer. Slow ground ball to Gallego. Wilson skips over it, throws to first, and that will do it. We go to the 8th. It has rained all the way through. The wind blowing hard out now to center field. At 18, it's Kansas City 4, Oakland 3. Bob Zolke Sportsman Z wasn't sure why his Phils are way underperforming. I thought he was a White Sox fan. I messaged him right away. He was way underperforming in steals and sack bunts, and he was double every other team in the NL in his replay. Oh, okay. He was doing the Phils in there. You can't do that from the game screen. You can do that from the front screen, but not the in-game screen. I just installed it a few moments ago, just before we started. McGuire, by the way, double and double plays. Yeah. What season of the Phils is he doing? Mark is 0 for 2, a walk and a strikeout. Saber allowed Doug Jennings to pinch hit? No. Ground ball, base hit, right side. You don't pinch hit from Mark McGuire. Rally killers. And Stan Javier is going to pinch run. Okay, well, I guess that's it for McGuire. Javier at 8 speed, but only 9% chance of a steal. Baylor is 0 for 1. He's walked and scored. Oh, what if 2020? Okay. Baylor stays in the ball game. That's a ground ball past White. Javier might motor to third here. Will motor to third because Kurt Stillwell got a bad jump on it. So the Royals' defense, although there's only the one error, has been bad. So nobody out in a 4-3 game. And here's Henderson. By the way, his bunt rating is only a 5. Steve Farr is the closer. Did he actually start? He might have started. You do have Quisenberry. Saberhagen wants to stay. They also have Gene Garber. So the Royals' pen is fresh. First and third, nobody out in a 4-3 game. Court reminding Saberhagen of that. Javier on third, Baylor on first. Hendu in the center. Willie Wilson, that should be deep enough to score. Javier makes the catch. Stan will tag. Willie's going to try to get the runner at the plate. It's going to be close. Quirk puts on the tag. No. I wonder if it's a defensive replacement for McGuire. John says in a situation involving McGuire, he'll go right into that player's card in-game and change his manager settings for never pinch hit for. Makes me wonder how often they pinch hit for when you fast him. So a great catch by Wilson. Made a diving catch and nearly got, well, no, it says Javier scored easily. So tied at 4. Here in the 8th, 1 out for Weiss, who's 2 for 3, singled twice and struck out. Ground ball to Stillwell. Over to Brett. For the out, Baylor will hold at second. 2 out for Sinatro, who is 0 for 3. He has struck out and driven in a run. I usually only pay attention to the games that I play, so let's see what it says. Pull for pinch runners. That I can see. But don't pull for a late inning defensive sub, and don't use his one. Interesting. He is a 7 at first. That's not terrible. Anyway, 4-4 the score, 2 out here in the 8th. Sinatro. Ground ball, base hit, left side, past Stillwell. Baylor's going to hug and chug. Is he going to try and score? Eisenreich's arm isn't that great. Baylor's going to score. It's 5-4 Oakland. So 36 batters deep for Saberhagen. 123 pitches, 7 2/3. 11 hits, 2 walks, and 6 strikeouts. Carney's 0 for 4. And that'll do it for Saberhagen. Going to bring in the old pro, Dan Quisenberry, making his 12th appearance. He's gone in about a month. He's 35 years old. Fastball, Bugs Bunny at 82. And a ground ball plus pitcher. 1-0, an earned run average of 110. Just in case you want to go to Pasadena today. His last appearance, a 4-1 loss to Seattle 6 days ago. Hitting in 2/3, 16 hits. Overall, 16 1/3. For Quiz, 19 hits, 7 runs, just 2 earned. Again, the Royals' defense is their Achilles heel. Yep. Brain cancer, wasn't it? He walked 3 and struck out 10. AstroTurf is not your friend. Lansford is 0 for 4. 2 out. Oakland is 2 in here in the 8th. Ground ball to Stillwell. They'll go to White for the easy out, and that'll do it. So, the A's, as Ron Hassey goes to catch for Sinatra. Wait, why wouldn't you pinch hit for Sinatra, who can't hit? 2 runs, 3 hits, no errors. Bottom of the 8th, 5-4 Oakland. Doug Jennings will play for Parker in left. And Javier is a 3 at first. So you're switching out arms in the outfield. So Jennings, a 6 and a 3 in left, joins Henderson and Canseco. Hassey, a 5 and a 4 behind the plate. And Javier is a 3 at first. So the infield, Lansford, Weiss, Gallego, and Javier. And the battery is Stewart and Hassey. So the computer making itself heard. Again, you really need to get a run now, or you face the prospect of Eckersley in the 9th. Buckner is 0 for 3. Stewart starts the inning. Ground ball to Gallego. Makes a diving stop. Throws to first for the out. 1 away. Here's White, who is 2 for 3. He singled twice. That is past Gallego in the center field, and so the Royals have the tying run on, 1 out, as White has his 3rd hit of the ballgame. So Eisenreich isn't going to hit here. There's no Bo. So who can hit a righty? Pat Tabler. Tabler, as a pinch hitter, hitting .556 with 6 RBI. He is 5 for 9. He has doubled and tripled. He does have a little bit of power. 5 runs, 11 hits, no errors for Oakland. They've left on 8. 4 runs, 7 hits, an error, and the Royals have left on 7. Hassey and Stewart have a word. The word is Nashville. Foul tipped, and the count goes to 2-2. And Tabler walks. So the go-ahead run is on first, and that'll do it for Stewart. Eric Plunk coming in to pitch. Got a pitching change. This game coming to you from Royal Stadium in Independence, Missouri. So Plunk, 25 years old, hard fastball at 98, 24th appearance. He's 1-2. That's a Lawrence Welk record. You could almost call it Calcutta. Earned run average of 369. He pitched 2 days ago in the series against the Royals. And a 5-4 win. He went 1 inning and got lit up. 25 pitches, 3 hits, 2 runs, both earned. He walked 2. 31 2/3 for Eric, 30 hits, 15 runs, 13 earned. A home run allowed. He's walked 21 and struck out 33. So Quirk is 0 for 2. McFarland will come in to catch and will pinch hit. He does not have a pinch hit. Hitting .274, 4 homers, and 25 RBI. 2 on, 1 out. Royals trying to reclaim the lead. They trail 5-4 here in the 8th. Stillwell on deck. Plunk starts his effort. Struck him out. He chased a 1-2 fastball at 97. Change of pace from Uncle Stu. Here's Stillwell. Kurt is 0 for 4. He has struck out twice. Gets away from Hassey, but everyone's going to hold. It's a pass ball. Well, it's not because Ron found the handle. But instead of strike 3, it's a 1-2 count. So 2 on, 2 out, 5-4 A's, bottom of the 8th. Pitch to Stillwell. Struck him out. Plunk does his job. How about that? He chased a 1-2 fastball, and that'll do it. Royals, no runs, a hit, no errors. And after 8, it's still 5-4 Oakland. Tabler by the... Oh, I can't catch. Pacoda is the other catcher. And if you're wondering if Pacoda is related to the Pacoda projections that you see in Fangraphs every January and February, the answer is yes. They were named for Bill Pacoda. It'll be Quisenberry to pitch the 9th, Gallego, Canseco, and Jennings to face Quiz here in the 9th. Gallego 2 for 4. He has singled twice and struck out twice. Scored once. The game insists I have a left fielder. And Tabler will go in there. He's a 3 with a 2 on. To Quisenberry. Right on the mound. Throws to first. 1 out. For Canseco, who was 2 for 4. My arm hurts from when I caught my finger on the bed. It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood, huh? Pitch to Canseco, who's 2 for 4. Ground ball to third. Seitzer has it. Throws to Brett. Long throw, and Canseco can motor. Jose is out on a bang-banger. Oh, he thought he was safe. He was not. So 2 out. Nobody on for Doug Jennings at 196. No homers and 4 RBI. Quisenberry's pitch. Base hit left field. Tabler and Wilson converge. Jennings a long throw, a long run around first, but we'll go back. For Stan Javier, who pinch ran for Mark McGuire, hitting .314, no homers and 17 RBI. Ground ball past White. Wilson will grab it. Is Jennings going to go to third? He's going to try and take the base. Wilson's throw down to Seitzer is going to be close. And they got him. So Wilson threw him out. And the A's do not score. So Eric Plunk's day is done. Rick Honeycutt trying to slam the door. 5-4 Oakland. So the lefty, Honeycutt, making his 20th appearance, he has an earned run average of .77 and is 3-0. That was a huge play. 34 years old, Honeycutt throws a fastball 85 and a fly ball pitcher. In save situations, he's 2 for 4. He won 2 days ago and a 5-4 win, so Monday. 2 innings, 30 pitches, a hit, a walk, and 3 strikeouts. Overall for Honeycutt, 23 1/3, 22 hits, 5 runs, just 2 earned. He's walked or given up 2 homers. Walked 9 and struck out 22. Royals 1 to tie, 2 to win. Wilson, Brett, and Tartable. And remember, Bo Jackson is not available. Willie is 3 for 4. He has singled 3 times, stolen 2 bases, scored a run, and drove in a base, or drove in a runner. Ground ball to Gallego, gobbles it up, throws to Javier, 1 out. The A's would lead by a game and a half if this held. Brett 0 for 1. He's walked 3 times and struck out once. Finally takes the bat off the shoulders, lifts this one into right field, drops in front of Canseco, and the tying run is on. Out goes Honeycutt, in comes Eck. It's 5-4, 1 out, bottom of the 9th. Well, Eckersley making his 15th appearance, and his earned run average is .071. He is 1-0. He's 34 years old. Fastball at 89 and is hoping to get a double play here. He pitched last night, but just in fact, induced a double play. 2 pitches, 2 outs. An 11-4 loss. So 12 2/3 for Dennis. 6 hits. A run it was earned. He's allowed 2 walks and thrown some cheese 11 times to American League hitters. And he has closed the door all 8 chances he's had to make a save. He has come in the ball game with 10 runners on in his 15 appearances, and no one has scored. Tartable 0 for 3. A run scored, a walk, and a strikeout. A home run wins the ballgame for Kansas City. Eckersley goes to the plate. Tartable rips this one into left center field. That's going to cut the gap. Jennings, I think, eventually will have it. But Brett was not fleet of foot leaving first, and that's just a long single. So 1 out for Seitzer. First and second. Kevin 1 for 4. He cleared the bases in the 5th with a double. He's driven in 3 of the 4 Royals runs. He has 2 game winners on the year, but he would need to... No, actually he doesn't need a homer to do it. Extra base hit may win the game. The rain has been there all day, and that wind is blowing out to center field. If Seitzer can get a hold of one, the Royals can steal this. Left side, Lansford. Foul territory by the A's dugout. No. And the count is still 0-2. So someone from St. Louis made that catch. Still upset about the World Series. Pitch to Seitzer. Ground ball to Javier. They're going to try for 2. Weiss on the bag for 1. There is no the throw is late to first. They can't get Seitzer. But with 2 out, the tying run is 90 feet away for Billy Buckner. And so Brad Wellman is going to pinch hit. Who? Exactly. Brad is hitting 111, a home run and 2 RBI. But he's capable of being a 271 hitter. So Brett, the tying run on third. Seitzer, the winning run on first. 2 out. And Eckersley again trying to slam the door for his 9th straight time this year. He delivers. And he'd walked him. And now the bases are loaded for the old veteran Frank White. As I now snap my neck, White has had himself a day. He is 3 for 4 with 3 singles. So Seitzer on second. He is the winning run. Wellman is given the Adirondack chair to sit. He doesn't matter. Brett, the tying run on third. Seitzer, the winning run at second. And White with a ticket punch in his hand. Eckersley delivers. There's a little looper in the left. This game is tied. Henderson and Jennings get there. Seitzer's going to run around third and score. And Frank White has won the ball game. The Royals have stolen one here at Royal Stadium. Holy Kirk Gibson, for the first time this year, Dennis Eckersley not only has blown a save, but he allowed runners to score that were inherited. Oh my goodness, 6-5 the final. 3 hours, 28 minutes. The Royals move into first. 6 runs, 10 hits, an error. They leave on 9. The A's, they'll be licking their chops for this one. 5 runs, 13 hits, no errors, and they left on 9. Frank White is your MVP. He drove in the winning runs in the 9th. He went 4 for 5. So Dan Quisenberry gets to 2-0. He got the last 4 outs. John got caught out by the automod. Couldn't have happened to a better sore loser. Now. Eckersley takes the loss his first. He blows his first save. I mean, this one had all the earmarks of the Royals just getting stomped. Stewart, 7 1/3, 7 hits, 4 runs, all earned. He walked 6 and struck out 5. Saberhagen, 7 2/3, 11 hits, 5 runs, 2 walks, and 6 strikeouts. But the Royals, as you'll see in a second, go back into first. What a ball game. So here's the rest of this Wednesday in baseball, then we'll call it a stream. Toronto 10-2 over Cleveland. Clancy 5-5, Richie 2-5, Campusano 3 for 4 and 2 doubles. Montreal 6, the Phils 2. Jeff Dobson 4-1. Bruce Ruffin 3 6. Timmy Raines 1 for 3, a triple and a walk. Yep, it's considered bullying. Writing loser in the chat is considered bullying. It's amazing what that chat will hold. Detroit beat Baltimore, by the way, 9-5. Walt Terrell 3-2. Bautista 0-4. Pat Sheridan 3 for 5, his 4th of the year, and drives in 2. Pirates beat the Cubs 3-1 at Three Rivers. Bob Walk goes to 5-4. Calvin Schiraldi goes to 1-5. That is legal, but saying loser isn't. Andy Van Slyke hits his 10th. He goes 3 for 4. Red Sox beat the Yankees 9-7. Roger Clemens goes to 6-4. Tommy John falls to 7-3. Dwight Evans, 2 homers. He drives in 4. He's now hit 12 homers. He goes 3 for 5. Mets beat the Cardinals in 10, 3-2. Jeff Ennis 1-1. Worrell goes to 1-7. And Randy Myers picks up his 16th save. Twins beat the White Sox 7-2. Les Straker 4-3. Glens Falls, New York's Dave LaPointe falls to 6-5. Ozzie Guillen 3 for 4 and a steal for the White Sox. California all over Texas 10-1. Mike Witt, 7-3. Hayward, 0-6. Tony Armas hits his 8th, 1 for 4, and drives in 2. Brewers beat Seattle 7-6. How about Bob Uecker, by the way, starting his 54th year with the Brewers? Tom Feiler, 3-1. Campbell falls to 2-7. Glenn Braggs, 2 for 3, hits his 6th, drives in 2. Houston beats the Dodgers 10-3. Steeler fan will be happy. Mike Scott, 6-5. Fernando falls to 3-3. Davis, Straker. Yeah, Straker. Glenn Davis, 2 for 5, hits his 11th and drives in 2. The Dodgers lose ground to the Reds because they beat San Diego in 10, 8-7. Tim Burgess, 1-0. Lance McCullers, 1-5. Nick Osaski, 2 for 4, his 7th and drives in 2. And last but not least, Mike Krukow throws a 2-hitter. and they shut out the lowly Braves 7-0. Kruko 3-4, Kaufman 0-6, Kevin Mitchell 1 for 3, a triple, a steal, and a walk. Friday, we're with you Friday. Minnesota and Seattle is the entertainment for you. The Twins and the Mariners. And then, allegedly, on Eclipse Day, it'll be the Red Sox and the Jays from Toronto. All right, that'll do it. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Ron Juckett. Enjoy the rest of your afternoon, everybody. Stay safe. So long.